Good day, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome to the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. I'm the guy who hosts the show, finds fresh content, and directs the flow. But enough about me. Let's talk about the guy who's in charge of the sound, who started the podcast right from the ground, who's bald and he's round, who's avoiding the casino so in his debt he won't drown. Ladies and gents, children and rents, amoebas and germs, girls with bald eagles, and the ones stuffing their panties with perms. The one, the only, Tommy fucking Washington. What's been up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you? It looks like the sound's
I'm
working
doing
in the
just great.
it looks like the sound's working in the stream, so that's good. Good. I was really worried about
Also,
that.
I have no echo, so really, it's a great day.
Until the stream crashes again, and then we'll start all over.
I don't know. Paul Walker only crashed once. Too soon? Is it too soon for that joke? The
Nah,
audience has gone silent.
he's been dead for a while, but I'm good, man. So you told me that you didn't see my text message because you were at the grocery store. What were you getting at the grocery store, Pat?
Uh, Fucking groceries. I got some salad stuff. I got nothing exciting. I got some feta cheese, which technically is still salad stuff. I didn't get anything crazy. I got some jerky, some jerky sticks. I'm on a jerky kick because I can find a lot of sugar-free jerky. And more specifically meat sticks. They're kind of like in the shape of a Slim Jim, but they have a thicker casing, which I fucking love. And they're not as tasty as Slim Jims, but they're not packed with sugar, so I take them.
So, have you ever heard of the carnivore diet?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the carnivore diet.
So, I was never. So it's very similar to keto. The difference is you eat nothing but meat. Like on keto, you can eat vegetables and all that stuff. On
Which is
corn,
weird because that's basically your dating lifestyle as well. So you could
yes,
really run the full gauntlet.
yes, I love the meat sticks. So, uh, so I was listening to my favorite podcast, Joe Rogan, and I mean, second favorite
I thought Pat
podcast, Joe.
McAfee was your favorite podcast.
No, he's my favorite show now. I don't listen to his podcast anymore because all they do is they put clips of his show in, so I just watch the show.
Okay.
However, I was listening to my second favorite podcast. My favorite podcast is obviously Number 9 with Tommy podcast.
Makes sense.
But my second favorite one is Joe Rogan, and I was listening to an old episode that had Jordan Peterson on it.
Yeah.
And he was saying how his daughter was born with autoimmune diseases, and she had all
Yeah.
kinds of medical issues, and she started doing keto, and everything went away. All of her
Interesting.
all of her issues and all that. So he started
Because all
doing
the
it.
garbage that we eat is in our fucking breads.
Yes, essentially. So he said, so I started doing it because he had some issues, and within a month, all of them went away. His depression went away, everything went away. So I talked to Erica about it, and I decided that we're going to try it for 28 days and see how we do. So, but when you're going to eat just meat is probably the most expensive thing you could buy at the store right now.
Not only that, my follow-up question would be no sauces, correct?
No sauce.
Like you've got to use spices.
Yeah, so I use a lot, which is fine. I'm not a big sauce person anyway. Like, not gonna lie,
Oh, I'm a dipper.
if I eat chicken, I like putting a little bit of cider ranch, but I'll live without
Yeah.
it. Erica actually said that she read. Oh, Erica said no spices. Now I use Montreal steak seasoning to do my steaks. I will continue to do that. Only salt and pepper. So we will continue to do that. So we went to Costco. So I've been looking up all kinds of ways, like what's the most cost-effective way to do it. And the most cost-effective way is to essentially cut your own meats.
Yeah, buy meat in bulk, cut it up, freeze it, do it.
So this is what we did today. If I could
Are you
switch
queuing pictures? Do you have photographs?
I have a photograph.
Yeah. This is just going to be a live cow. Jesus.
So that right there,
Sexy.
I bought a whole ribeye. And when I say it was a whole ribeye, it was this big. It was
like
20
Fred
pounds.
Flintstone style.
We got 15 steaks cut out of that, plus we cut the 2 ends off, so really 17 steaks, but we ground part of it. We bought 2 pork loins, made 3 pork tenderloins out of that, and 22 pork chops. We have
Okay.
a whole brisket in the freezer still that we haven't done anything with, and we got a bunch of bacon and we bought pork belly, all kinds of shit. So pretty excited. A lot of
What I
eggs.
don't see is a bunch of eggs. Did you buy eggs?
Yes, we bought eggs. Erica we made egg muffins and we boiled about a dozen eggs, and then we made bacon. So in the morning we'll have eggs and bacon, and
Them there egg muffins are the shit. I still make them all the time.
then we bought 2 top roast or top rounds that we're gonna make.
Yep.
I bought a dehydrator. We're gonna make our own beef jerky. It's marinating right now. We'll cook it tomorrow, so we'll have our own
Now-
beef jerky.
And you can't season the beef jerky with anything but salt and pepper.
We use Wash Your Sister sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
Wash Your Sister sauce.
Wash
And,
your sister sauce. Okay.
and
Worcestershire.
Wash Your Sister sauce. That's the name of the show.
We could call it what it's really called. It's called Worcestershire sauce. But since they can't pronounce their own names from that state, they call it Worcestershire.
So Wash Your Sister sauce and soy sauce, and then I'm gonna do half it in salt and pepper, and the other half with the Montreal steak seasoning that I season all my steaks in. Also, because I cut all my steaks today, I seasoned them all, then then vacuum sealed them and froze them with the seasoning on them. So those are gonna be fire when I
Pretty
go to
clever.
cook them. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about those. So we'll see. 28 days. My goal is we're going on a cruise at the end of March or May. My goal is to lose 45 pounds by then.
Okay. That's
Wait.
doable.
Hopefully we'll see.
You're,
So-
Did you? Are you? Have you already started fasting?
No. So I was gonna fast for 3 days, and today I didn't eat anything. I had a cup of coffee before we did all the shopping, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna start today." So tonight for dinner, we had a steak with some. We bought a rotisserie chicken, had some chicken with it. And then obviously as I was cooking, like, you're picking little things off and you're eating that. But I don't think I'm gonna do the fast. I think I'm just gonna go right into it and see what happens.
Okay. I have some special juice to get you through it fast if you're interested. If you decide to do the fast.
I will let you know. Special juice,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, it's like a tea, and you drink it 4 times throughout the day that you're fasting. Or if you're fasting for 2 days, you would drink it 8 times.
Is it like for electrolytes and stuff?
Yeah, it's just an all natural tea that gives you some stuff to make you feel like you're not going to die.
Yeah, I feel like I can go
Good. It's really
full.
good.
I feel like I can go 100% without a doubt, 24 hours without eating.
Yeah, it's not nearly like it sounds way worse than it is. One day is truly nothing. Sometimes when I was fasting, I wouldn't even realize I was fasting. And then I'd walking in the door, I'd be like, "Oh, I got to make dinner." I'd be like, "Oh, that's right, I'm fasting today." But
Yeah.
I'd made it through the day, no problem.
Yeah, I think my goal would be to get out of eating breakfast and not eat lunch, but maybe bring some beef jerky with me. So maybe around 2 o'clock, maybe have a snack of beef jerky, and then eat
Mhm.
dinner. And then you're fasting all the way to like 2. You're only eating between 2 and 8, and then
Do you remember that we're going back? I think I was living with you at the time. It might have been right after I moved out. I only ate when I was hungry. Do you remember that?
not really.
I lost a ton of weight. All I did, I just got rid of like the conventional breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And
Yeah.
it was just like, okay, when I need to eat, I'm gonna eat. And then when I would feel hungry, I would eat whatever the fuck I wanted, and I just didn't overdo it.
Yeah,
And I just dropped pounds so fast because it's such a routine to be like, oh, I'm getting ready for work. I better make breakfast. And then like at work, well, I have this, 15, 30 minutes to have lunch. So you do. Oh, Erica said that's what you're supposed to do on this. I think she means that's what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do on this is eat when you're hungry.
yeah. Which is exactly my goal, because
Yeah.
I noticed that if I do eat breakfast in the morning, I become more. And if I force, like, I might not be hungry, but I force myself to eat breakfast because that's what we're taught to do.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm
It's
more
crazy.
hungry throughout the day. Where if I don't eat breakfast, I could easily go until, like, I don't want to say easily, but I can go until dinner time without eating. It's just when I get to dinner time, I'm fucking starving, and I typically overdo it.
So a lot of it is mindset. Get out of the mindset that breakfast takes place in the morning. Breakfast is one thing. It breaks your fast.
Yeah.
So if you're only going to eat dinner, then technically that's your breakfast.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're breaking your fast at nighttime each day, but it's still your breakfast. So like the even the terminology is bred into us improperly. Like breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That's true, but it doesn't have to take place in the morning. The important part of breakfast, because you're breaking the fast, is it should be healthy. So like the sugar cereal that we had was the worst thing we could have to break a fast, because your body absorb if you're fasting like that, your body's going to absorb everything you put into it.
Yeah.
So if you're eating fucking smacks, your body's taking in smacks. What you're about to do is every time you break a fast is you're going to give your body what it needs, and your body's going to react positively to that.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about it. We'll see. I know that when I did keto, I lost probably 40 pounds in a short amount of time.
Erica
And
said she needs to eat a couple times a day, not just one big meal. I'm the same way. I would eat like a bite every 15 minutes all day if I could, and never eat a meal. I don't need to sit down and eat a meal ever.
yeah, I hear that. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty excited. Like I said, the keto thing was awesome for me. It's just once you get off that, and the same thing is going to be with this, but the goal would be not to get off this, and just continue. And maybe, like, if I hit a target weight that I want to hit, maybe introduce not even so
New
much
rules.
carbs, but like now I can eat a salad. You know what I mean? With a
Not
little
only
bit.
that, but if you hit a target goal on this, about okay, well, once a month, I'm gonna eat whatever the fuck I want on the first Sunday of the month.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Erica said no, gallbladder does not bode well for only one meal.
yeah, she gets the poops.
Oh,
If
so
she
she doesn't have a gallbladder?
no, she had her gallbladder taken out a while ago.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't remember that story, Pat, when she was telling me she had a stomachache and I told her I wouldn't take her to the hospital for a stomachache?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Classic.
Oh shit, I'm getting all kinds of emails that I should have read earlier today that I didn't see. Uh-oh.
Are they for the podcast?
No. They're for work.
Oh, whoopsie.
Whoopsies. So yeah, Pat. I texted you during the week, Pat, and I said, Pat, we need to check out this story. So I didn't read the articles you sent in.
Wait, don't get into the stories yet. I wanted to
Uh,
tell you what I did today.
okay, let's hear it.
It's not very exciting.
Oh, I can't wait.
I went to the New Haven St. Patrick's Day parade.
That sounds awful.
It wasn't bad. It was much better than I expected. More importantly, we're standing there. And I have Jalen next to me, and I go, "Hey, Jalen, those are the two guys that run the state. That's Ned Lamont and Blumenthal." And she's like, "Who are they?" And I'm like, "They run the state. They're doing all the things that we need them to do to make the state a nice, healthy economy and make everybody happy." And she's like, "Are they?" And sure as shit, Ned Lamont walks right over. I was like, "This motherfucker hurt me." There's no way he did, because it was very loud. But he walked right over and shook Jalen's hand. He was
Really?
like, "That's nice to meet you. Thank you for coming out today." Then he looked at me, and I just kept my hands in my pocket. Not because I was trying to be rude, but it was a little bit chilly. And I just gave him a little head nod, and he walked away. But I was like, "Well, Jalen, that just happened. I not in a million. It's not like he was walking around shaking everybody's hand. He was just standing in the middle of the thing." Well, there he is.
That was cool.
So yeah, that was the exciting part of the parade. She bought a phone case. She was very excited. She's probably still talking about the phone case.
How long before we elect a Republican governor here in Connecticut?
40 years?
Well, the last one
What's that,
was in my
every 2 years or every 4 years, those elections?
4 years, I think.
4 years. I'm going to say somewhere between 16 and 40 years.
The last one was a great. The last Republican one was a great governor, until he got arrested for embezzling money. But was a great governor for the state.
I mean, who hasn't embezzled a couple bucks?
Yeah, a couple bucks here. I don't think it was even that. It was something else, but he went to jail for it. I know that. All right, so Pat went to
Whatever. There's other
the
people going to jail for, smoking rocks and shit.
so Pat went to the parade. We went to I sold. So remember, we probably weren't doing the show then, but remember when I bought a new toolbox for my house to build Colin's car? So I brought my personal toolbox to my house, the one that I used to use for work. So now I had two toolboxes. So today I unloaded one of those to a friend of ours. You know him quite well. He has a gap in his front teeth. Short little guy, plays a lot of golf with me. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Two
We'll give
L's,
it
two T's. Don't you forget it, motherfucker.
So Eric and I went. I had to unload the toolbox. I had all the tools in it. Brought it to his house. Then we went to Costco. We got home, did some more work in the garage real quick, and then caught up all that meat. Then we made dinner. And now I'm here. It's been a
Nice.
busy day. A busy day. Yesterday I went to Top Golf in Long Island with Griff.
Why the fuck did you go to Long Island? Is that the closest one?
So I thought it was the closest one, but there's actually one in Cranston, Rhode Island, which is the same distance, except you wouldn't have to drive into the fucking city, so you
Yeah.
wouldn't hit any traffic. So next time we go, we will be going to the one in Cranston, but it's such a good time, man. We had such a blast. It's too bad nobody else could go with us yesterday. But we played for 4 hours. It was awesome. I was sore as shit afterwards because with only two
You're
of
hitting
you.
the ball more, right?
Well, with only two of you, there's no downtime. Like we were just moving. So we essentially played 2 rounds of golf. Panachronics in the chat, he says Top Golf is the shit. It is. The first time I ever went to one was when I went and saw Tim in San Antonio, and that was awesome. And then I started golfing. So now anytime I go to the one in Virginia Beach whenever I'm down there with my parents, because it sucks that the closest one is 2 hours away. That's kind of shitty. I hope they open one here in Connecticut soon. It seems to be popping up. They just opened one in Canton, Mass, which is about 2.5 hours away. Cranston, Rhode Island, the one in Long Island. So they're opening all around us, but not in Connecticut for some reason.
I'm sure we'll get somewhere, like your, I don't know, Wethersfield, Glastonbury seems like a place to put one.
Yeah, Bloomfield maybe.
Yeah.
Or even New Haven. I don't know if New Haven's the right area for it, but somewhere's in that neck of the woods.
Oh, come on. They've got Yale.
Yeah, they've got something down there. They also have sounds like a good business venture if you got a couple million to throw at it. The problem is I don't think those are franchised, because if they were franchised, I would open one immediately because they are just raking in the dough. I've never seen one not busy with like all the bays filled ever.
Speaking of business ventures, Tommy, I had what I feel like can only be described as a bajillion-dollar idea today.
Let's hear it.
Because so many people have made so much money off of apps. Okay, so it's GPS, like Waze, like Garmin, like TomTom, all the other GPS apps. But it has trivia. So you can do like family trivia or like bachelor party trivia. Like that's not distracting from the road. Why do they not have trivia on these fucking things? It would be so much fun to do trivia in the car.
You know that Teslas come with games built into the cars, right?
Cock bags. Always stealing my ideas.
Yeah, Elon. Always stealing your ideas.
He's such a ripoff.
Brett, did you watch any animal porn or whatever it's called? Furry porn.
I did not watch any furry porn. That's my bad. My bad. I don't have a better answer for you.
That's all you got.
I didn't watch any furry porn. I watched the show that I've been watching, and
What's the name of that?
I'm not going to talk about that. I oddly gave Aladdin a run. Remember I told you that I had watched Come Inside My Mind, the Robin Williams documentary?
Yeah.
So I watched Aladdin, which was really, really like it was next level enjoyable because of the amount of shit that Robin does in that movie. It's absolutely insane how much. And then I'm thinking about it because like they're hand drawn, right? Like those animations were all done by hand back then. And I'm trying to figure out like, did they write a storyline but not a script? Like is because you couldn't have told him the dialogue. You know, he's way too fucking freestyle. He's way too quick on his toes. He's not right for that. So then I'm like, maybe they just have like a storyline, and he's just kind of shooting from the hip, and then they're like, "Fuck, we're gonna have to draw that." You know, like
No,
I have no. I'm so interested in what that process looks like now.
no, I think there's a script for all the movies, but they're allowed to
You think
improvise.
he's stuck to the script?
No, I think they're allowed to improvise, but
Right.
because like you said, the story's written, and then they make the drawings to match the thing, and then he just improvises the scripted word.
Yeah, but like, so he's doing like impressions, like he does a Jack Nicholson. He does, and the animation then looks like Jack Nicholson. You know what I'm saying? Like he did so many. He did a Groucho Marx impression, and it was like Groucho walking across the stage on You Bet Your Life. Like he did
I
so
also
much shit.
think that computer animation definitely played a part in that fact. It wasn't made that long ago. It was made in the 90s. I think it was came out
Yeah,
like
I
94.
don't know. I want to watch like a behind the scenes, like a making of, because I'm so fucking interested now.
Well, go on Disney Plus. I'm sure they have tons of it.
That's where I watched it.
I'm sure you did.
But I will. I'm gonna try and watch a few more Robin Williams movies. He was just so fucking good, man.
He was, man. Flubber? I mean, come on. Or
Jesus.
Bicentennial Man? Fire.
I've never seen Flubber.
You've never seen Flubber?
I'm not big on children's movies, man.
You just watched Aladdin.
I'm not big on. It's not. I didn't say I've never watched a children's movie. There's 3 good Disney movies. They are Aladdin, The Lion King, and Pocahontas.
You are so stupid.
Send your hate tweets to number 9 media at X or whatever that's
No,
now.
it's at number 9 pod at X.
There you go.
Oh, we should probably update that logo, huh? Since it's X
Probably. Panachronic said he's never seen Flubber Bicentennial Man though. Legit as fuck.
now. It is.
They actually put AF. You know, I
yeah.
used to at CVS when I worked there, I would hold up Lotrimin and I would be like, "This is Lotrimin." Then I'd hold up Lotrimin AF and I'd be like, "This is Lotrimin as fuck."
It actually stands for antifungal.
Well, my way was funnier.
It was, but fungus is no laughing matter, Patrick.
You're talking to the fucking king of jungle rat over here, buddy.
Another...
what happened? You took like a pill that made your fucking athlete's foot clear up in like 24 hours. And I said, "Hey, let me get the leftover of that." And you're like, "Nah." Do you still take that?
It wasn't a pill, it was a powder.
Whatever.
I still have some. The shit was awesome.
Of course you do, because you didn't lend any out, you piece of shit.
Well, no, if I get a bad case of athlete's foot, I want to make sure I can take care of that shit. Dude, that powder was legit as fuck.
Is it prescription?
Yeah.
Maybe send me a picture of it. So when I go to the doctor next year or the year after that, you know what? Whenever I go to the doctor next, I'll ask for it.
Yeah, it was awesome. Shit worked great. There's something else. Oh, so Erica for Christmas got me these jeans. They're I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, but it starts with a D. It's like Dutch or something like that.
Denim. They're denim.
No, the brand of the jeans
they're
is like
they're like D-Nimes or something.
Eric will put it in the chat in a minute. But so she got me these jeans for Christmas, and there's 2 different styles. She bought me 2 of one pair, 1 of the other pair. The one that she got 1 of, Duluth.
Duluth. They must be made in Georgia.
So she got me 2 pairs of one set, 1 of another one. The one that she got me fit awesome. Most comfortable jeans I've ever had. The other ones were like tight in the hips. I couldn't get them closed, even though they were the same size as the other pants. So they have a store in Danbury. So she finally brought them back on Friday. And the ones that fit better are double the price. They're like $70. The ones that she got me were like $30. So the guy at the counter goes, "Oh, she needs to return these to get another 2 other pairs. Can we just do an even exchange on them?" And the manager's like, "Yeah." So Eric got me 2 more pairs of the pants for cheaper.
Nice.
Yeah. So she had one
I
there.
like
I'm
that.
wearing double flex ballroom are the ones that you like. That's what Erica said. Yes.
Is that ballroom like dancing, or is that ballroom like space for testicles?
Space for testicles.
I see.
They are
Your,
Pat,
your little
for-
Chinese music balls are fucking rocking out now, huh?
for guys with big thighs like us, big ham hocks and big calves. They are definitely the best. Dude, I heard the other day they were talking about people in Miami getting calf implants, and all I could do was
Fucking
think about
idiots.
you. I was fucking dying. I was
It's
like, maybe that's what Pat did. He's not telling anybody he got a calf implant.
No, but that was always my ex-wife used to tell everybody that I had calf implants because everybody believed her. So it was this joke that I fucking hated because I would never do anything like that. And she would always say that to people, and they'd be like, "Oh, a little big."
Classic. All right, you ready to get into these stories, Pat?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna premise this story by what happened. I was listening to a podcast from my second favorite podcast of all time, Joe Rogan, and he was interviewing somebody. I forget who it was, but it was this week. And he kept bringing up drag queens going to elementary schools and reading them books, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" So I
Now,
said,
before you go on about your podcast, do you remember we did a story about this in Florida?
"I do not recall because
We did.
feel like I would have been much more outraged."
You weren't thrilled about it back then,
No shit.
but okay, you don't remember. That's fine. Go on with your story.
So I text Pat and I'm like, "Hey, we got to check into these drag queens reading kids' books." And Pat said, "You want to go get a drag queen?"
No, you said we've got to go. We've got to check out these drag queens in schools.
Oh yeah. And Pat said, "You want to go see them?" And I was like, "No, man. I want to look into the story." So that's a day in the life of me and Pat.
So did you read the article?
I did not. I figured that we could. I figured you read it, so I figured you could quickly summarize it on the show today.
Well, Tom, going into it, my thing was because obviously, like, you don't even have to read the article to know that if a drag queen is going into a young group of children, they're going to be talking about diversity, right? They're going to be talking. My fear with that thought, right, was I hope they're not talking about sexual orientation. I hope they're not talking about really anything sexual, because that's not really the forum for that conversation. And those children have parents, and whether they're parents who go to church every Sunday or parents who don't allow their kids to go to church, no matter what, that's a conversation for you to have with your parents, not a conversation for schools. If it was a conversation for schools, then it wouldn't be that age anyways. I fully encourage, if we're talking to high school students about how they can get free healthcare at their local Planned Parenthood, I say good for us. We're not allowed to do that in Connecticut, but we should. We should say, I'd love to tell you not to use condoms, but it feels better not to use them. So if you're going to be an idiot like the rest of us, then please use birth control of some form.
Yes.
That's not what the drag queens that I know of are doing, or at least that's what I was hoping. So I read the article. The drag queens are going in and talking about diversity. That part was true, but they're just reading like inclusive, diverse books. They're not doing anything to do with sex. They are doing, I assume, some gender identity, but they have been prevented from doing gender identity in this article. I'm sure that that's because it was a thing and it probably caused a little bit of outrage. Here's the thing. I thought I would be satisfied once I read that. I wasn't. Well, let's what's your take so far on this?
So I I understand that we need to. I 100% agree with you on the fact that it's up to parents to teach their kids about certain diversities. I think it's not up. Kids go to school to learn subjects.
And I'm all for them learning about these subjects in school, just not grade school. It's got to be a higher level of education. Even
Yes,
high school is borderline.
yes, because even at the it's so weird to me that we're pushing this whole thing of you can choose your sex and all that stuff. Like, no, we need to get back to the fundamentals. There's two sexes, male and female. You're born as one or the other. Now, listen, I'm not saying that, my sister was a tomboy growing up. You know what I mean? So she had, I don't want to say masculine qualities, but she fit in better with the boys because she was a tomboy. You know what I mean? But she didn't want to become a boy. You know what I mean? And I just think that we're a lot like the fact that we're allowing kids to make these decisions, and this doesn't help that. You know what I mean? Seeing men dress up as women and come into your school and read you stories is confusing as fuck. Especially if you're in grade school.
We're mixing the message and we're confusing them. I don't disagree. Now, here's the thing. If you want to have drag queens read to whatever age group you want, I'm all for it. Especially if they're reading books about diversity and inclusion and it has nothing to do with sexuality or gender. Here's my thing, right? I've always said about comedy, I heard Matt Stone and Trey Parker, I didn't come up with the idea, but about jokes and things like that, you don't draw a line, right?
Yeah.
Everything's funny if nothing's offensive. So the vice versa here, the vice versa is why I thought I was going to be satisfied by this article. And then I was actually annoyed by the article because I went, okay, so drag queens can read in schools. I'm cool with that. They read valuable life lessons. I'm cool with that. Why don't midgets do that? Or I'm sorry, little people. Why aren't amputees doing that? Why do, like, if you can have drag queens, why are we not using every outcasted group when a child looks at somebody and thinks differently? So why are they not having these groups, not just drag queens, but when a child looks at a little person, they stare and they either are scared or they laugh or they make a stupid ass comment because kids say stupid shit. So why don't we have those groups as well? Like, why is it specific to? So we're now painting drag queens as like the nurturers or like the inclusive ones or the ones who are outcasted. There's tons of groups that are outcasted. So why are we leaving the rest out? Erica said, just because they are dressed like women doesn't mean kids will want to be like them. Example, clowns. Who doesn't want to be a clown? Panachronic said, because it's not the schools reaching out to these groups to invite them. It's specifically this group advocating for themselves. Yeah. So then the school should reach out to other groups and should get them in there. They should include them. They should say, you know what? We're learning a lot. We're going to be inclusive and we're going to create a diverse education for our students. Yeah. I don't even listen. If you got a one-armed midget drag queen, that you cover all bases. Have them come in and read.
It's I'm not saying that they're gonna want to grow up to be like them. I'm just saying it's confusing. Like, that a clown is a clown. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just feel like we're confusing. And listen, I think I don't hate anybody. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that I have to agree with everybody's decision. Now, I don't want to dress up as a woman, but I totally understand drag queens. Like, they want to dress up as women.
Can I tell you that before you move past this point where you don't want to dress up as a woman, I was really early for the show. Now, for a fact that I was about 5 minutes late for the show, but I was really early for the show before I realized that I hadn't changed my clocks. I was going to come on dressed as a woman. And when I realized, I was like, fuck, I don't have time to do that. I was gonna come. I was even gonna do like whatever makeup I could muster up
That would
and
have
throw
been
on a wig and just
that would have
yeah.
been awesome.
I wanted so bad. I had the idea last night and I
Uh,
was like, I could fucking do this. I could totally do this.
that
And
would
then
have
I
been
was like, nope,
classic.
I cannot pull this off in negative 5 minutes. I better get downstairs.
I would have waited if you would have said, "Oh, I need 5 more minutes." I would have waited. Um, yeah, I just
Talk
don't.
about fucking insensitive.
I just don't understand it to a certain extent. Like, I don't want. I think these are conversations that it like I say this, but at the same time, I understand the problem with this is because there are hateful people in the world that wouldn't explain this properly to their kids and would breed more hate based off that if it was just their kids explaining to um like if a hateful person's explaining to their kids about different types of people that they may hate, that doesn't that encourages it wrongly into a child anyway. So I'm not saying that this is a horrible thing. I just don't understand why it's happening in schools.
Not only okay, so
And they're being forced to do this.
even if you want to do it in school, there's the tricky part right there, the force. Because I was just gonna say, okay, so why not send a letter home to parents and say, hey, you have an awesome opportunity to teach your kids about inclusion on Saturday or after school on Thursday. We're going to have this group of people come in and they're going to read to the kids. If your kid would like to participate, here's a permission slip or whatever. Pentachronic said another part of the controversy is how they're dressed during these readings. They dress this way because they're drag queens, quote. But also, if a guy that didn't identify as a drag queen showed up to read to kids dressed up that way, it'd be inappropriate. That's an interesting point.
Yeah. If they identify as a Pat, you cut out there a little bit. But if a we'll call it what it is, a trans person showed up to read and just because there's drag queens, but they don't identify as a drag queen, then that's inappropriate.
Yeah, I just like if the school wants to host it, I'm all for it. But the school should get the information to the parents and then allow them to make the decision.
Yeah. It's dude, what a fucking time we're in right
Dude,
now.
the other side of that, and I hate to say it, but because I don't think that the school should be making decision for children with good parents. But there are a lot of shitty parents out there that maybe the best thing for these kids is to fucking see these, these drag queens and learn from these drag queens.
Well, and that's kind of my point, right? Is I understand that hatred breeds hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So these kids, they have all kinds of names that they're calling and these thoughts in their head about how these people are like the Antichrist, and really they're just fucking. I'm sure that a similar number of drag queens are scumbags and a similar number of drag queens are awesome people as anybody who dresses normal. Erica said, I don't know that it would be inappropriate. People can wear what they want to wear as long as it fits the dress code. And it did say that the drag queens that went to these things dressed within like normal parameters. They weren't like dressing for a drag show to go into the kids. Now, if you remember, the article that we covered was actually a school. It was an elementary school that took a field trip to a drag, not the actual show, but it was where they do the drag show, and the drag queens were in full dress and talking to the kids. That's what we talked about in Florida. But Florida is like the fucking magnification of everything about America.
Yeah. We're in a weird time right now. Sometimes it amazes me that Erica and I are married.
Why? Because she's a sweetheart and you're the fucking salt of the earth?
I want to say I was the salt of the earth. Just did I tell this story last time I saw you?
That wasn't a negative thing. It's just the opposite of Erica.
Did I tell you the
like
story
places, man.
about us getting into an argument?
Erica said, sure, it's unusual, and we all look a few extra times if we see someone dressed as a female who doesn't appear to be, but so what? I mean, some of us chat you right up on the internet and try to schedule a date. I'm just saying.
Patrick.
Then we realize the error of our ways, and we just talk about it for the rest of our lives on a podcast.
Yes.
What were you saying? You and Erica got into a fight?
A little bit of an argument. We were out at dinner last week, when we stayed at Mohegan, and I'm sitting there realizing like she hasn't talked to me a lot about her views on stuff. So I try
I
to
can only imagine why.
well, but like I'd like to know where she's like we don't have to agree on stuff. You know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
I'd like to know where she stands on stuff. She knows like I'm very vocal about where I stand on stuff because that's just the type of person I am. So I bring up this conversation about the vaccine. And I'm explaining to her, like, I asked her, like, it started out with, I really don't even know your stance on the vaccine. And so I just explained to her that I'm upset with myself because I was against the vaccine. And the only reason I got it was because I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to travel outside the States. And I had a vacation planned, and I didn't want to lose the money on the vacation. So I succumbed to peer pressure, got the vaccine, didn't even need to get it to travel outside the States. It wouldn't have mattered. And so now I've had it, and I'm upset with myself because I did that. And she looks at me, dude, and goes, I'm sorry. And I'm like, what are you sorry for? She goes, well, clearly you think I made you get the vaccine. And I was like, nope, didn't say that. That never came out of my mouth. Ever. I'm not blaming you for me getting the vaccine.
But did she say that you said it, or did she say clearly you feel that way?
She said, clearly you feel that I made you get the vaccine, but that's not, I didn't even.
So she's not saying you said it. Do you in fact feel that you wouldn't have gotten the vaccine if it wasn't for Erica?
No.
Okay, well then there you go.
No, not at all.
But what you're saying and what in her head you're thinking could be two different things. So she's, maybe just clarifying. Panichronic said, why do you let her force you to get it, Tom?
She
strong-armed your ass.
She took me saying, but I said I think you should get it because what about our trip? I understand that, but
she
planted
the seed.
She said, I told her I succumbed to peer pressure. It had nothing to do with her. It was everything else. It was the news. It was people around me. And then I told, and this is truly how I feel. I made my son get it. And the only reason I made my son get it was because, the news is going on about, oh, what if your kid kills somebody, one of their teachers? And blah, blah, blah. Like, I didn't want to be that asshole. But at the same time, looking back on it, like, we're all being lied to. You know what I mean? So we're all duped. It's a bunch of and so I have a lot of internal struggle with that because me, Pat. I stand up for what I believe in, and what I believe is what I believe, and I'm going to I'm not going to let other people persuade my thought process. You know what I mean?
I think that's the ticket right there is I won't be persuaded. The problem with the vaccine, I think, is whatever, we'll call it 50-50. I don't know what the real ratio is, but half of Americans went, well, it's what I should do because they say it's what I should do. And the other half of Americans, I'm not sure that they were against the vaccine so much as I'm not going to do because I feel forced. It wasn't like I disagree with vaccines or I don't believe in modern science. They just went, no, fuck, I'm not following the government into the fishnet. And I think that was where it really went bad because half of us went, I will follow these motherfuckers into fire. And the other half of us went, I wouldn't fucking walk them to water if they were on fire. It had nothing to do with the vaccine at any point. It was just like, what side were you stubborn on? And I think instead of the trick with the dude who was like, I can't believe the ingredients in this vaccine, and he listed them, and it was actually the chemical compound of an apple. But the people were like, I would never put that in my body. That's fucking disgusting. Yeah. The government's trying to kill us. And he was like, yeah, that's just an apple. Like, that guy really exposed a lot. Some of us just don't want to do what we're told to do anything.
Yeah.
I actually still have a text that's like, you don't send your kid to school without the chickenpox vaccine, and you wear, shoes in restaurants, and you don't shit on the sidewalk. Like, you're always following the rules. This is just a new rule. That's what's bothering you.
Yeah.
Erica said, and I said, why would I share my views when he's just going to turn around and call me a sheep? I'd rather not share. That's why I laughed when you were like, Erica doesn't tell me your views. I was like, I wonder why.
Well, listen, sometimes she can
You
be
would have to
sheepish.
really go in open and ready to have that conversation with Erica, because the difference between you and Erica is she has such a fucking big heart, that sometimes I don't think, like, it's the two types, especially like the clear division is men and women, not on this topic, but men and women are an easy one. We always say men are like the rational thinker and women are the emotional thinker. And going into this, she has so much more heart than even the average woman, that she's going to lean on the side of take care of everyone every time.
Yeah. So here's my point on it. Listen, I don't care if you got the vaccine or not. I don't care if you wanted it, if you didn't want it. It makes no difference to me. I know where I stand. Your decisions have no bearing on me whatsoever, right? So I don't care either way, because I love Erica, and I just want people to realize that we don't always have to follow the rules just because they tell us to follow the rules. There's something bigger at play here. Like, if you really like, and I'm not trying to say I'm a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but you get it. I can't say words.
No, I'm not saying. My point is, conspiracy theorists have legitimate points. That's why they're called theories. I'm not saying that they're all right or they're all wrong. I don't know if there's a fucking Bigfoot, or if there's aliens, or if the vaccine was a scam.
Trump told us there was aliens. He told us
they exist. Theories exist, and conspiracies really exist. So the problem is when we go down the rabbit hole and we don't do things with an open mind, and we go, well, either this has to be a conspiracy, or we go, no, everybody has to get vaccinated because, I don't want somebody in Indonesia somehow getting me to have COVID through 17 degrees of separation through Kevin Bacon. Like,
yeah.
If during the heat of that you got vaccinated and went out in public, good for you. If you chose not to get vaccinated and stayed at your house, good for you. We felt trapped.
Yeah.
The trap wasn't, if I don't get vaccinated, I can't go on vacation. No, there's your choice. You can get vaccinated and go on vacation, or you can not and don't. Like,
well, and that was
it will pass.
So that's my whole point, is that I'm upset with myself that I went against my values and my thought process
because you felt trapped
because of a stupid vacation. And don't get me wrong, it was the best vacation I've ever been on. Like, it was
It's probably because that vaccine was still in your system.
No, the vaccine's still in me. Trust me, it's killing me slowly. But looking back on it, I'd rather have lost the $3,000 and not done it, and feel what's the word I'm looking for? Not feel duped. You know what I mean? I just feel like I was duped.
Yeah. You know what would be an interesting? You just made me think of it. So during Trump's reign, Erica said, "When are we going back to Aruba?"
Book it. I'll go.
During Trump's reign, people love to poke fun. They love to put bumper stickers on their car that said "Not my president." They love to say he was orange. They loved when he talked about people drinking or shooting, whatever it was. You remember that bleach? Is that what it was?
He was saying that
why don't we all inject bleach or whatever? And now with Biden, he trips up the stairs or he trips over his words. The motherfucker's always tripping.
It's wild, dude.
I think that we should find, no matter who it is, no matter what side they're on, we should find one positive thing to say about a politician every week. No, for real. Listen, this man that's in office right now was elected by the people. And that was my argument through the whole Trump reign. He was elected by the people. So Tommy's not into this plan. But
well, I'm just saying, you're saying he's elected by the people.
Oh, gotcha.
Maybe. How many illegals voted? Because that's not legal.
Conspiracy theories. No, man. I like. Why not?
Panic just said,
or he wasn't. Why not show some support for the leader of the free world, no matter who it is? And this one, and it doesn't have to be the president. It could be any politician. I just think there's bound to be something nice to say about them. Or we could go with my true feelings, and that's fuck them all. Maybe we just don't shit on one specifically. We shit all over the place. Erica said one positive thing a week is too much thought toward politicians. I agree with that. I'm going back to fuck them all. Thanks, Erica.
Fuck them all like God sorted out.
I think we should put them all in a room and then lock the door and then start over.
So, Pat, that brings me to the next point. It's time for a revolution.
You with this revolution.
Dude, we gotta do something, bro. It's not good.
Did I tell you I had a buddy who was at the Capitol riot?
Really?
Tommy, we're sitting on the back porch. It's me and a couple of my friends from high school. And one of them goes, I'll use his
do not put his name. Listen, I'm gonna do not use his name, because this is the God's honest truth. That show Kill Tony I watched, they had some old lady on there who openly admitted going to being there on January 6th. She got arrested after she was on the show because of that.
Oh, he's already been arrested for going, but I don't know if he's been convicted. That's actually what the story's about. Okay,
none of them are going to get convicted because they didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, you name one of you give me a first and last name, and that's going to be this kid's name.
Bobby Lee.
Okay, so Bobby Lee was a friend of mine, a good friend of mine in high school. So we're on the back porch, me and a couple high school friends. Bobby Lee's not one of them, but one of my friends is like, "Yo, did you see Bobby Lee in the newspaper?" I'm like, "Fuck you! Why is Bobby Lee in the newspaper?" I'm like, "Capitol riot," and I'm like, "What? That's so long ago. What are you? He's in the newspaper now?" They're like, "Fucking front page, yo." I'm like, "No way." So they show me the picture. This motherfucker, because I'm like, well, maybe it just looks like him, right? It's a front facing picture of like a dead center photograph of this motherfucker, and he has a police baton held over his head and this huge smile, and he's like he's over somebody though, like he's clearly like attacking them with a police baton. And I was like, well, that is some incriminating evidence. Fuck, that poor guy's gonna, if that wasn't at the Capitol riot, he would be going to jail for it. Luckily, I mean, I'm sure he gets a trial and everything else. Maybe he can get out of this, but it did not look good from the photograph.
Yes, photographs. Who cares? What a wild time to be alive. That ain't me.
That ain't me. Tommy, have you seen the videos? This is fucking wild to me, man, because it used to be like, whatever, we'll say Dr. Oz, because that's one that I saw. So Dr. Oz's face, and then like a bunch of quotes that clearly were not Dr. Oz, or they could have been, but it's saying that they're quoting Dr. Oz, and it's just internet garbage. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure, but sure.
A false advertisement, like where somebody's being quoted as saying something like, "Hey, this health product makes you lose 100 pounds in 100 weeks."
Yeah, I see these things all the time, especially with I see them with Joe Rogan, Mr. Beast, all these guys who are super famous.
Have you seen the video ones?
Yeah, that's all AI, dude. It's crazy.
They're fucking wild.
Yeah, dude, it's a wild scene out there, dude.
Dude, it's so like I like stare at the lips and listen to the words, like just like trying to see a flaw in it. I'm like, these motherfuckers are good,
dude. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's coming.
They're fucking nasty. And dude, world. They could have these people saying anything, anytime. Think about it. If you can do that good with like visual editing.
Bruce Willis actually licensed a company to generate him because of all the issues he's having.
That's cool. Yeah. So like he can kind of write down his thoughts or whatever before he's gone.
No, I don't think that's it. They're going to use him to do ads and shit. As Bruce Willis.
For what he has?
No, not for what he has. For whatever the fuck they want to.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of fucked up.
Just to generate revenue.
Yeah.
Okay. But think of if one of these crafty bastards gets in touch with, let's say, a hacker, what stops them from hacking the 7 p.m. news and just reporting completely fake news? Completely false
That-
news.
That happens
About-
now, Pat, with real people. So
I feel like you're underestimating what a wild story we could make up and then have it look like somebody's saying, like, police are telling you to leave town. You know, everybody get out of this town. And if
Pat.
they get a couple news stations like,
Pat.
oh, no, it's legit. I saw that on my news channel.
Pat, 2020 pandemic, it was happening the whole time, giving us fake news.
I feel like you're missing my point.
No, I feel like you think that AI is going to do this. We do this every day. We give people fake news.
We give people fake news that a group of people have decided on. I'm talking about one individual getting any message he wants or she wants spread whenever they want, wherever they want, to whoever they want.
So true propaganda, like a communist country.
Are you trying to get me to turn away from communism, Tommy?
Why you like communism?
We had this conversation. Was it not you that I had this conversation with?
No, but I am so excited that this is going on the internet.
No. This is what I was saying, was that a pure communism would work if you didn't have human beings involved. The problem is, once you involve human beings, it fails because we have desires and we have goals and we have dreams and we have wants and we have skills. But let's just say it was a communism and the people you were controlling were robots. Now this totally makes sense.
Pat, can I ask you a question? Totally,
What's
well,
that?
kind of on topic. Do you believe in equality of outcome?
What's that?
Do you believe in equality of outcome?
Explain to me what equality of outcome is.
Like you and I have the same job, so in turn we make the same amount of money, get the same promotions.
Do we
all
do
that.
the same quality of work?
Some people believe that doesn't matter, and that everybody should have the same equality of outcome.
No, see, that's you're proving my point, because now you're introducing human into a communism. So if I don't do as good of a job with than as you do better than me, you outperform me, but I still keep pace with you. That's the human element that communism fails on. If this was fucking robots, we were doing the exact same job. We were constantly improving, constantly getting better, constantly getting faster. Then we both promoted at the same rate, and whatever form of payment you would pay a fucking robot, chips, then that would work. Like, you wouldn't need an election. You wouldn't need multiple leaders.
Okay,
You would
so we're on the same page. We're all for
communism would not work with humans ever.
We're all for equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome.
Absolutely.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're on the right side of history. Because there's people, a lot of them, that believe in equality of outcome, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
No, actually, so two things. One, I don't believe that if I work harder than you, you should get the same as me. But two, I've actually been reading a lot of, I don't know how this fucking started, but it's driving me bananas and I can't stop. I've been reading about basically our parents taught us wrong. And that we were kind of taught like the hardest worker wins, right? Like, that's how you get ahead. We didn't go to college. Well, you went to tech school, but I want to run circles around everybody around me. I want to be better at what I do than them, because the reward is a better retirement, but it's not. And like, the more I learn about it, the more I'm like, fuck, we got fucked so hard in our generation because our parents were workhorses and the kids under us are shit asses. So we're stuck in this place where we're trying to fucking prove ourselves to them and we're getting fucked by them. And dude, it's fucking brutal to read about, because these kids are going to whoop our asses in the long run. And it's not like, oh, they're going to retire with more money. No, I'm not going to be able to retire and they're going to fucking live off of my merit. It's really painful to read.
Yeah, Pat, I don't want to talk about how lazy this generation is, because I
Dude,
deal
it's
with it.
fucking wild.
I deal with it every day, dude. And you know me, right? Like, everybody listening to the show might not know me, but you know me, right? I'm a hardworking person. I put everything into what I do. That's just how I am. That's how I was raised, right? My son is one of the laziest motherfuckers I've ever met. And it astounds me how he's my son.
I'll tell you, when your son works with me, he works hard. He's gonna die because he's
No,
fucking.
that's different. I'm just saying, no self motivation. He has to be told what to do. If he's working with somebody, he will do it.
Then he's fine.
Yeah, but like today, we're cleaning up the garage. I started that piece of shit car his mother gave him. I get it outside. He's like, "When are we gonna start working on the car?" I was like, "I don't know, bro. When are you gonna take the initiative and fucking clean it out?" And he goes, "Well, when are we gonna work on it? I'll clean it out." And I'm like, "Why don't you just take the initiative and fucking do it, and then we'll start working on it?" Like, I don't need to tell you everything. You should take some initiative and just do it.
Yeah, like show me you're excited, and then we can get started.
Yeah.
So, for the record, when Pentachronic said that ain't me, Erica said, "Sure, his name isn't Shaggy," and I was like, I don't even understand that. It was a reference to it wasn't me,
Oh,
and fucking well played, Erica. It took me a minute, but I got it. Pentachronic said, and the majority of these people are lazy assholes that want to get the same reward for less effort. Facts. Erica said, Gen Z, they don't even have to speak or write appropriately. And Pentachronic said, true AF. Now, he didn't spell true appropriately, and he didn't write out as fuck. So he's really working against the point. But
Colin texts me in fucking acronyms. That's how Colin texts me. Everything is a fucking awesome acronym.
I'm fine with, like, okay, we don't teach kids cursive. I hate it. I wish they were learning cursive. But if it's a dead language, it's a dead language. If nobody's going to need cursive, they don't need cursive. I'm not saying let's not change anything about the way we teach our kids. But like, how are we introducing new math, but we still aren't teaching life skills? Like, there was nothing wrong with old math. And if we are teaching new math because it makes more sense, then how can you argue that life skills doesn't make sense? These kids should have life skills going into life. We're preparing them for the future, but we're not teaching them how to survive in it. We're like, you're going to, fuck, our teachers told us we would never have a calculator in our pocket. Joke's on you, iPhone, bitch. And we're doing it again. Like, you know, our kids, even if you have an electric car or a fucking battery car or whatever fucking kind of car you're driving, as long as it's on the ground, you're going to need to learn to change a fucking tire, bud.
Yeah.
You can fuel it whatever the fuck you want.
Well, unless they get solids, then they don't have to worry about it.
Is that conducive to cars?
Not really. They're too heavy.
I guess we don't really have to worry about that.
Not yet. I mean, eventually, maybe.
That's true. Who knows? You know, if battery technology moves.
Pat, we didn't get to your second article.
That's okay. We'll save it for next time.
We're an hour in. This was great topics. Great topics today.
We're good topicers.
I just want everybody to be ready for the revolution because it's coming.
I love tapioca pudding.
What do you think? Like, I keep forgetting that it's an election year because I really don't watch the news anymore because it's just
leap year, bro. Every leap year is an election year.
Thanks, because that's every 4 years. Oh yeah, presidential elections only happen on leap years.
Bro, Tony texted me the other day and he was like, you know, it really pisses me off. And I know, like, if it's 5:15 in the morning, Tony's texting me, it's going to be some wild shit like Maple, right?
Maple?
And how annoyed he was that Apple calls it Apple Maps and not Maple. He was like, this was a fucking walk in the park. They literally had a genius name for the product and didn't use it. Why the fuck are they calling it Apple Maps? So, in the same respect, he's like, you know what, I don't, like, this really bothers me, man. Why the fuck, on the year that we put the extra day, do we call it leap year? Technically, every other fucking year is leap year because we don't have the 29th. We're leaping over the 29th. This year, the only year when we actually make the year longer, we call it leaping, like we're taking something away from it when we're adding something to it. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, fuck, he's got a good point. It technically should be called like anti-leap year. Or like add year.
Anti-leap year.
I don't know, something. Shouldn't be called fucking leap year.
Nice. All right, Pat. This was a good show.
Agreed. I'm going to go change my clocks.
Fucking idiot. What's funny is that your cell phone had the right time on it all day, so I don't know how you were late.
Yeah. I have 900 clocks in my house, and I just didn't look at my cell phone, I guess. I don't fucking know. What got me was the car clock, because the car clock was also wrong. That's the clock I remember looking at going, yes, I got plenty of time.
I got plenty of time to dress up like a woman. No, I don't.
Yep.
It would have been, would you have shaved your beard?
Absolutely not.
I can't remember a time that you or I did not have beards.
When I was in basic training, I shaved because I had to.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know you then.
Erica said, were you early for everything? No, Erica.
He comes early,
You
though.
know what? No. I fucking was early for the parade. And I thought, because, statistically speaking, I'm late for everything. And I thought, how weird is this that they're not already going? They got to be running late. And then they started right after I was thinking that. And I was about 45 minutes late. So that makes sense.
You fucking
Well played, Erica. Well played.
You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. All right, Pat, get us out of here.
Number Niners. Happy Sunday. I say, good day.